this is where I lead into my second candidate, and this is my favorite trade candidate for the Detroit Pistons, and I think he'd be a dream fit, and that is Trey Murphy from the New Orleans Pelicans. He's averaging 20.8 points a game this season, 6.1 rebounds, 3.5 assists on 38% from three, and 62.9% true shooting percentage this season. So just to put that in perspective, Curry's at 63.8%, like true shooting percentage. So very efficient bucket getter. He's 6'9" with the 7-foot wingspan. So I think he slides right into that Tobias Harris spot as like a major upgrade. He's a better shooter, better scorer. I think he's a better defender. He's younger, and I think he fits better with this timeline. Whereas a guy like MPJ, you have to worry about those defensive issues. Excuse me. I think Trey Murphy, you could slide him in, and you don't have to worry as much like you would. Even as with, I think he's better, like I said, than Tobias. And I just think I just love Trey Murphy. I think he's a good 3-and-D ball handler. Like, he's great. He has a great handle for his size. Like, he can create his own shot, something this team is lacking. He's a high flyer, which is always a plus when you have a guy who can, shoot it from 30 and go in and catch a body. Like, that's like, you can't ask for more. And this is just me. Aesthetically, I think he has one of the nicest looking shots in the season. So I'd love to see that paired next to our young Pistons core. But the biggest thing for me is at his age. He fits our timeline. Like, he's a guy where if you have to, get off some draft picks or get off some young guys, and he's on a great contract. That's not a guy that you'd bring in and it's like, damn, like, he's 30 years old. I don't know if this is gonna work. Or, he's 28. Like, he might be starting to no. I think he is. I want to check his age really quick, but he is young and he fits this team's timeline. Like, Trey Murphy is 25 years old. That's perfect with what we have going on. And I think a trade package with him is a little tougher because, like I said, I don't know how the Pistons feel about actually, mortgaging not all of our future, because we have a ton of assets. We have a ton of picks. We have a ton of valuable contracts. We have a ton of young guys. We got expirings. Like, I don't think it's anything like that, but I don't know how they feel about, making that big move yet. But the two kind of trade packages that I put together, and I could be undervaluing him a bit based on how, the Pelicans value him, because guys, like, the trade market is insane nowadays. Like, inflation is crazy. Everybody goes for 4 or 5 picks. Like, a lot of the stuff. And I blame it back to that Rudy Gobert trade when he got sent to the Timberwolves. That's what did it. That's what drove up this market. But you see guys going for, like, these guys don't just go for seconds anymore or contracts. Like, everybody has to go for it first. Like, you even see, like, the Kings this season, Keon Ellis. So we want a first for him. And I think some teams are a little out of their minds, but you got to play ball if you're the one trying to buy this guy out from his team. But as I was saying, the two trade routes I see, one that's player heavy. So this first trade, to make contracts work, so it's be Trey, obviously. And then, like, some combination of either, like, Kevon Looney or Sadiq Bey. And then you'd have to send out Tobias Harris, Ron Holland, Jaden Ivey, and something like 2, I say lottery protected first. I think that would kind of, because you gotta sort of look at it from their perspective. Yes, Ron Holland and Jaden Ivey have potential, but they haven't popped yet. How Trey has been, like, Trey looks like, in my opinion, I think he has future All-Star potential. I think he could get there one day, especially in the right situation, playing next to a Cade Cunningham, playing next to a Jalen Duren. And then the next route I kind of see that the Pelicans may take, because, they're a younger rebuilding team, the pick heavy option, which is, again, that Trey and Kevon Looney or Sadiq Bey for contract reasons. But then you send out like a Tobias Harris, a Ron Holland, Chaz Lanier, 2 unprotected firsts, like a pick swap, and maybe a second or 2, which I know that's 3 first round picks, but that's the market nowadays. That's what guys are going for. And if you want to go out and get a guy like that who is a game changer, I think you make that move. And the thing I kind of push back on when people are like, oh, that's too many picks, there's nothing stopping you when you trade for a guy going out and saying, like, oh, let's say, I don't know, Devin Booker becomes available. There's nothing stopping you from flipping. I don't think Trey Murphy would be involved in that deal, but there's nothing stopping you from flipping that guy again to recoup those assets. That's always my pushback. Like, it's not just like, oh, you trade out those picks and then that's it. Like, you can't ever make any moves. You can't. That's not how that works. It makes it a little difficult to make, like, compounding moves, but, like, you can go back out and get assets. That's always my when teams are like hesitant to. That's my 2 cents. But if you can't tell, I'm a big Trey Murphy fan. I think he'd be great with this team. I think he'd fit perfect, seamlessly. And if the trade deadline comes around and 11:59, you see a move get made from I'd be ecstatic. I'd be ecstatic. I'd love it. I'd support it. 10 times out of 10. But guess we gotta wait and see.